Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me for another video tutorial. Today I have a card. It's a fun card, and I want to show you this little technique that I've done here. And I'm going to be using a brand new stamp set by Stampin'Up that's going to be available on January 5th. This stamp set is called Friends and Flowers, and you can get it in a bundle with the punch, and it does make really beautiful flowers. See, love making flowers. But for this card, I'm just going to be using a couple of stamps from this stamp set, this solid piece and this piece that looks like an outline. And I'm going to be using this to make this card that I'm calling Rows of Bows, Slanted Rows of Bows. Okay, and it's a lot of fun. It is a little time consuming, but depending on the color choices, your card's going to be beautiful. So this card, I used 6 of the colors from the Brights collection, and Rose Red, Rich Razzleberry, Pacific Point, Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and Pumpkin Pie. But like I said, you can use as many colors as you want with this, and the one that I'm going to show you today, I'm just going to use 2 colors because I just want to show you this technique. So you're going to just start out with a piece of Whisper White cardstock, or any light colored cardstock that the color is going to show up. Very vanilla would be, kind of nice with this too. But I'm just going to use Whisper White, and I am going to be cutting this piece down, but I'm going to start with a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is about 1/4 of a piece of Whisper White cardstock, the 8 1/2 by 11. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up the bottom of my cardstock with one of the lines on this grid. Now this grid, I'm using the side of my grid sheet that is in inches. So what I want to do is I want to tape this down. And for that, I'm just going to be using some removable tape. This is Post-it note tape, and I'm just going to do the 2 bottom corners. You can get Post-it note tape probably at your either online, or I think maybe Staples or Office Depot might have it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 1 inch up, and that's about 4 of these squares, because each of these little squares on this grid sheet is 1/4 of an inch square. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and put a little tick mark with my pencil, and then I'm going to go up 9 squares, which is 2 1/4 inches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and I kind of like that angle. Now you can do any kind of angle or no angle if you don't want the angle on your card. So I'm going to do this because I like a little angle on this, and I'm going to use a pencil and very lightly just make a pencil line, and that's where you're going to start stamping your rows. Okay, now this stamp and this stamp, you see how I have them positioned on my stamp blocks kind of toward the top, and that's so that when I stamp, which I'm going to be using my Stamp-a-ma-jig for this, when I stamp, I know that if it's this way, it's wrong, because I want that stamp toward the top of my stamp sets. Believe me, if you put it in the middle and you accidentally twist it, it's not going to work out too good for you. So I'm going to start out with the one with the solid image. Okay, like I said, you're going to need your Stamp-a-ma-jig. And I'm going to start out with 2 colors from the In Colors for 2015 to 2017, Watermelon Wonder and Tip Top Taupe. I'm going to start out with the Watermelon Wonder. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful red, deep red coral color. Okay, now I'm going to make me a template using my Stamp-a-ma-jig. Okay, and then I'm going to start kind of right in the middle of the card. You can start anywhere you want to, but I prefer to start right in the middle of the card, of that line that is, and put my little square there, and move this out of the way. And now I'm going to stamp. I'm going to bring this back in, kind of dry it up a little bit. I'm going to bring it back in on this side here, trying to follow that line. Now, one thing you've got to know about this stamp set, yours might not be perfectly symmetrical. I know mine isn't, but don't worry about that. Just try to line it up the best you can, and try to just give it a few seconds to dry before you, you know, put down your stamp, this thing here, the transfer thing for your Stamp-a-ma-jig, because you don't want to pick up any ink from it. Okay, there you go. Now with a baby wipe, now you could use your stamp cleaner. I have the stamp cleaner, but I don't really have a lot of room. With this stamp cleaner, what you would do is you would spray your stamp cleaner on this side and you dry it off on this side. But my space for stamping and filming right now is limited, so I don't really have too much room for it. So I'm going to be using a baby wipe just to wipe it off the transfer sheet of this Stamp-a-ma-jig. And also I'm wiping this off here because the next color that I'm going to be using for this solid color is the Tip Top Taupe. So now this one here is the outline. Now what I want to do is I want to keep this far away from me, because I'm using this one and I don't want to grab that one accidentally. I've done that before. Believe me, it's not fun. Okay, to have to start all over. All right, now I'm going to stamp and make myself a template with the outline color. Bring it in here and just position it as straight as I can, or as even as I can. And I don't want to, you know, I'm not worried too much about being real perfect, because like I said, since this isn't really symmetrical, it's going to be fine. Your card is going to look beautiful. Okay, now see what I did? I think I need to stamp this over again, because I think I shifted. But like I say, I'm not going to fret too much about, you know, where this is positioned. I'm just going to try to do the best I can. And if I'm off a little bit on one or two of them, it's still going to look pretty. Believe me, I've made a few of these cards, and only I can see the mistakes. Nobody else can. Okay, there you go. That's a little better. And we're going to come up here. Okay, and stamp. And now we're going to clean this off. Okay, clean this off. And we're going to make a template with the solid color, with the solid stamp, using our Tip Top Taupe. So let me close this up for now. I'm using that later. Okay, and I'm switching this out to Tip Top Taupe, making the template right there. We're going to line this up. I think I'm going to line this up right here on this one here, since this one's a better one to line it up with. Okay, there we go. And line that up right here. Oops. Okay, bring this over here. Like I said, you probably want to give your ink a few seconds to dry, but I'm showing this to you kind of in a hurry, so this video doesn't last forever. Now we're wiping this off, because the next color we're going to use is that Watermelon Wonder, since I'm only using 2 colors on this. So no, we still want Tip Top Taupe, but what we want is the outline one. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, and I'm not going to go through this whole card with you, but just want to show you a few rows, just show you it doesn't take too long, but you know, just take your time, try to do a neat job, and it is going to be gorgeous. Okay, okay, and one last one here. Okay, now you see how it's kind of looking really, you know, striped, but yet, I don't know. I really just like this combination too. So what I did was I went ahead and I stamped a card, and I also trimmed it down to 3 1/4 inches. by 5 inches. Okay, and that's so that I could layer it on my my card base. Excuse me. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template with my sentiment. And I still have that one line that I drew with the pencil. So the sentiment that I'm going to be using is from the stamp set called One Big Meaning. And I'm going to use Thank You for Everything and More. And I'm going to be using some basic black for the sentiment. And this basic black is an archival ink. Really, really nice and bold. I really like this ink. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and once again, I'm going to be using my Stamp-a-ma-jig because I want that sentiment to be nicely placed on my card. So, okay, so we're going to place it, about right here. But what I want to do is I do want to tape down my card, this card right here, so that my card doesn't move when I stamp. So just a little bit in the corner here. Place this here. You can see that. I want to make sure I'm still in camera too. I tend to kind of get out of camera, and I'm sorry if I do that. Okay, here we go with this. Thank you. We're stamping it. We're inking it up, and we're going to stamp that there. Nicely positioned. Great. Okay, give that a little chance to dry, and then you're going to erase the line, and then after you erase your line, you're going to use your snail adhesive. Let me open it up first. Use your snail adhesive and put it on a card base. A card layer that measures. This is black cardstock, and this measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to try to get this as straight as I can. It's a little off. There we go. Okay, and then you're going to layer it on a card base that measures 8 1/2 by 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. And what I did was I scored it at 5 1/2. Oh, I got a little ink on that one. I'm going to just go ahead and use it anyway. Okay, we're going to put this here like this, using our snail. And put this down here. Now, if you notice on this card here, I have some bling on this. I use some basic rhinestones on each one of the joints of this, of all these little patterns. But I think on this one, I might use some basic pearls, and I'm just going to put a little basic pearl just on each one of these little corners, just to give that a little bit of elegance. I don't know, it just needs something, but that's what I'm going to do with that card. So basically, I just wanted to show you how to do this technique, and of course your color combinations are going to be wonderful when you make this card. And if you want to show them to me, please email them to me, or just go on my Facebook page and post them there. But anyway, I hope that you try this. This is a fun technique. It takes a little bit of time, but it's using this wonderful stamp set. Don't forget to order it on January 5th. Friends and Flowers, get it with the bundle with the punch. Save 15%. You will love it. It's a beautiful set. So once again, I'm Jeanette with G Amazing Paper Crafts. If you need any of these supplies, please go to my website, www.gamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. I'm Jeanette. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.